Nigeria police force under the leadership of IGP Kayode Egbetoken has kept mum since reports indicated that the US-trained private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, who was invited to facilitate the rescue of a married couple, husband and wife simply identified as Mr. and Mrs. Ibrahim, that was kidnapped since late November at their home in Avili community, a village near Auchi Polytechnic in the Etsiko West local government area of Edo State, has been arrested and remanded to prison by a court sitting in Benin City, the Edo State capital, over allegations that the private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, underpaid the ransom money given to him to give to the kidnappers to rescue the married couple in captivity. The reports of Harrison Gwamnishu's arrest and subsequent remand to prison custody became widespread after a popular Nigeria social media activist, Vincent Martins Otse, in a video statement on Friday morning alleged that he has facilitated the arrest of the private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, for allegedly removing 5.4 million naira from the total amount given to him by the victim's family to help pay as ransom to the kidnappers. This occurred after the sting operations Gwamnishu had prepared the ransom money for was probably aborted after a man, whose real names may be Oshio Rima Job Asgeme, leaked, revealed and exposed the planned sensitive security information online. According to the suspect who leaked out the sensitive security operational plans of Gwamnishu, Harrison Gwamnishu never told the family he was going to remove some money from the ransom, that the kidnappers said the money was not complete, hence only the wife was released, the man still held in captivity due to the incomplete ransom payment. The suspect, Oshio Rima Job Asgeme, in a video recorded statement stated that he was the one that helped facilitate the service of Harrison Gwamnishu when the family of the kidnapped victims requested for it. The action of the suspect may have prompted Harrison Gwamnishu to abort the sting operations, obviously for the safety of his personal life and the lives of Nigeria's soldiers and other security operatives he does use to execute and complete his sting operations against kidnappers, which often leads to the killing of the kidnappers and recovering of the total ransom paid. For the purpose of clarity, sting operations is a deceptive practice and undercover tactics used by journalist or intelligent officer or security operative to get closer to a suspected criminal or criminals in order to be more familiar with the criminals and the environment they operate, and the deceptive practice may include the journalist or intelligent officer or security operative pretending to give ransom money to kidnappers in a manner that can cause a delay in proper assessment of the environment before the security troops may launch offensive attack against the criminals. The action of Asgeme of leaking out sensitive security information may be of interest. Why Nigeria soldiers and other security operatives are being killed in large numbers whenever in previous and recent years the Nigeria security troops are on rescue missions, including the recent mass killing of soldiers along with Brigadier General Uba Musa and civilian JTF members at Wajiroko village in Borno State by criminals. We are convinced that if Mr. Asgeme and the family of the kidnapped victims were suspicious that Harrison Gwamnishu wanted to steal part of the money, they would have played along and allowed the private intelligence officer, Harrison Gwamnishu, to complete his sting operations. If only had Harrison completed the security operations and thereafter refused to disclose the money removed from the ransom money, then the accusation and allegation of possible stealing would have been reasonably acceptable. Harrison Gwamnishu in a statement said in reaction to the allegation of stealing that the kidnappers demanded 50 million naira from the family and the family negotiated with them. I don't negotiate with kidnappers. My assistance is to follow them up using tech which the police, military and local vigilantes are aware of. The family raised 20 million naira to the kidnappers, and the kidnappers told them that they will free only the woman because they were begging that she's pregnant. The family told me the kidnappers insisted on freeing only the woman. On Monday, I received a phone call from them saying the kidnappers are requesting for 20 million naira, and I asked them for the two of them or just the woman. They said for the two. My work is to follow up with the money so we can get a real-time location and get the military to the exact location as we've done in the past with evidence to back it up. They took the money to the kidnappers and they released only the woman and didn't release the man. The people that went said the money was not counted by the kidnappers to know if it's below 20 million nairas or above. They said the kidnappers only told them the money wasn't complete and they should go. They returned back and started a blame game, and right in the DPO Auchi's office, I explained to them the strategies and plans we use. They said, why didn't I tell them? I said I did because I remember telling them we will work on the money, but how it's going to happen is what is not supposed to be revealed to anyone. I have informed the authorities who brought me to Edo State and who understand better the strategy, and I did not steal any money as alleged. I am open to investigation and the findings should be made public.
Good afternoon. I did very down, so I just want to explain my part for this matter. What I observe and what I know for this matter. You know, the kidnapped couple some days ago, we talked this matter. We begged the government, may they come help us. May we stop insecurity. So if the dad of the wife of the guy where they kidnapping and his wife, they come with me, they could tell me say they see me and Harrison with it. If they see my picture, you see when he helped Aisha the other time and all that, say they see good work and they see work for online. After they say yes, I get in contact. Now I come carry my phone, call Harrison, put the phone for speaker. They hear not Harrison say, see what happened for her with you. The parents they with me for a year. They say they won't talk to you. Harrison tell they say may they no rush them, may they let they call them, you know, he give the guidelines on how to follow up the issue. Say may they no worry, you call help them for the matter. So the girl brother can follow up the matter. So one time I call me say they don't arrive at a certain amount. So after that, Harrison, I could call Harrison, tell him, say, these people, how you could use their matter of car? He say he and them they talk. I say good. So when they come, when he won't come out with you the next day, he call me. So he say he go come out with you. Say and that yeah, they see the talk, say they don't feel meet up with something, they don't agree. Say okay, good. So when he come, I call the guy, I say, I used to say the question, say yes, say they talk since. I say okay, good. I used to come, I go meet them, I meet the guys, say now people when I know they're very close to me, they're among them. I say good. They arrange the money. I used to say they carry the money come to the hotel where they did. They carry the money come to hotel where I used to say, okay, may they work, may we won't work on the money. So based on, you know how it be, no be person from this side. Now somebody where we know they stay together, now from another place I used to come. So we have to tell the girl, that brother, say may he stay with Harrison for inside the room. Stay with Harrison for inside the room. They do everything, they arrange everything. The money, the amount where they call, they inside. They intact. So Harrison everybody can come down, they wait for the call of the kidnappers. Right there with everybody, with all the snap, maybe with all the happy small say, God don't all those people won't come out. Then without even the post pictures, you know. So the next thing, the kidnappers gonna call, they can carry the money. The boy where I used to carry follow body come, the boy now from this area. And I used to they do all those work out together. The boy can bring the motor come. I used to cause a driver could drive her. They can carry the money. So the boy brother I can tell the boy brother say you need to follow these people go deliver this money. So the other brother say, now he and the brother go. I say, no, two brothers, no feel waka, that kind of waka. Me one go. It did very risky. I say, okay, they understand what they talk. Then they go. The next thing, somebody we know they around, just call me, say that Harrison, me will not let her go. Say the money where they give kidnappers, they not correct. Now only the woman, they leave, made the woman who say the money not correct. They remove the husband, follow body. I'm surprised, I'm weak. I say, what? When I call Harrison, my brother, where you did? See what did they tell me? Say they with Sodia, they won't go the bush. I said, go the bush, oh. Even the guy tell me, say, tell Harrison for road, say, boy, inside Harrison for return. I say, come back. My brother did, and they don't release my brother. Cut the whole story short, They come, the next thing I see DPO, because before RC go there, tell DPO, say RC there around to see what they go on. They say, okay, make I tell RC, they feel work together. Told RC just say, no, similar, just go collect money when the people come outside. When we go call DPO come, the RC driver, with the drive follow RC back, they go J2 side. So the boy will do this motor with the driver, come tell the boy, say, you know they go anywhere, come, where would they go back to RC? He say no, he say he won't follow RC. So when the guy won't come fight and I take stop, drive the motor back to the hotel where we did. The DPO don't do. Then the guy come stand from here gate. Now tell the DPO say no let that guy go. Even the guy will get that the motor where they take go, when he be from this side, I say me they no let her go. When they put the two from motor, police van, me all of us go station. We went to station. We waited for RC. We call RC number, they busy, probably they make calls, I don't know. So the next thing, they begin call DPO. I don't know, call DPO, they begin call and say, RC, they do good work, make it work with them. So they can't call RC, so they tell us, say, we get name for this now, and we get the way we take to do our matter from here. All those guys, they'll lose, if they lose patient, they are if driver when they no good like what thing will happen. So I have to talk to him in that manner. Called drive come to the station. All of us can talk. DPO can't talk to around. Everybody can talk. Because say the way they do it work, you know they want 10 person, say you come out money. Now say you come out waiting, say you come out money. Now say, oh guy, you disappoint me. You disappoint everybody. You tell us say you won't come out money. How much you come out? He said, no, how much you come out. I said, no, you know, if you tell say you don't know how much you come out. That money, they say you don't even reach 10 million. DPO can send email follow him, may they go bring the money come. They follow him, they reach the hotel. Money where you come out for inside money, say you come out money, the money they're supposed to see there for one place. The bag where they carry come, he separates the money for all the bags. Now there police they say and say they bring money come out. They can put that for nylon, carry come a police station. DPO come collect the money, they call counter, they call say money now 5.4 million now Harrison come out for that money they won't go give kidnapper. I down, I weak. I tell them say I won't go as I go sleep. DPO so make I wait. So they now agree, say me RC go, tomorrow make it come. If the kidnappers come call, to talk see how much they there, see how much no they will not know how to go give them the money when they release the boy. So now, RC motor, the day police station, RC say go help mama go do something. RC say na 1 hour time we take come. RC till now RC never come. Now, you see the trust when we get for you, Harrison. You disappoint us because you're supposed to tell us say you want more money for that money. You don't tell anybody. And I call you when they tell me say that money no complete. When those guys will come, you tell me say the money complete. Now you come, you say 5.4. The money where you come out, you don't know, but we count on a 5.4 million. Now come, make we know how we want to do this matter. We'll follow up. Till now, you never still come. So anywhere you dare Harrison, come back to Auchi. No, we finalize this matter. Nobody move. Nobody be move. So you know that money where you won't pay him, so it's not good. When you talk about the one way that they pay him, then you won't come pay him down. It's too big. If more take for instance, say you they come on money based on things where you won't do. Now 5.4 million naira now you won't come out. Okay, you know they pity all those couples. You know where they foresee this money where they gather, where they won't give those people. I just say make I tell on my own side of the story. I greet everybody. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Harrison Gwamnishu. Okay, so I'm being dragged on social media for this very case. I'm being dragged on social media. What happened? Yesterday, I was invited. Nobody paid me 1 kobo. I fled our vehicle. We left Asaba on our way going on the Chubo. Our car broke down. Azubike, a pork taxi in Asaba, brought another vehicle for us in Awuchi, on the Chubo. We traveled to Awuchi. Nobody paid us 1 kobo. I did not discuss money with anybody. We went there on our own to assist because we've been doing that for long. and we're succeeding. Yesterday we failed. Now, yesterday when I got to Awuchi, I know the people want me to say things I'm not supposed to say because one reason why I went for Awuchi, it failed. Yes, it failed. All right. The two victims that were kidnapped, the husband and wife, the wife was released. Before now, the kidnappers told the family that they're going to release only the wife. Some things happened behind the scene, which I cannot say here. There is no way I can say it. All right. But number one, nobody stole any money from anywhere. Nobody was arrested by the police. Nobody ran away from Edo State. Yesterday, I was threatened. My life was threatened. My team members, Peter, Chichi, our life was threatened. While in DPO's office yesterday, DPO said, Harrison, drop your car. I said, you said drop your car. And thank God I dropped that vehicle. Because if not, maybe I would have been betrayed. And it happened to me on the way. Alright? So I left the vehicle. The vehicle is not my own, it belongs to my colleague. I left the vehicle at the station. Nobody impounded the vehicle. DPO said, please keep your vehicle here. I will give you security. DPO Awuchi said this. If you're going anywhere, I'll give you security. My policeman will go with you anywhere you want to go with. When I know say such promises, sometimes they happen. So this early morning I said, no, I have to leave Awuchi. Because the family said, since they did not release the man, they have released the woman, they don't want our services anymore, we should pause. We have to pause. I can't say these things on social media space. I can't. A lot happened behind the scene. A lot of work were done already. I was only trying to assist too. I went there with the intention to help, and which I did. Unfortunately, the man was not released. And now the blame is on me. They are trying to shift the blame on me. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to debunk anything. I'm not going to, okay, this is debunking, yes, but I'm not going to say some stuff that we weaken what we have already built. I told you guys before that there are technologies that can be used to get the kidnappers, and we've succeeded. A lot of them has been neutralized. A lot of guns recovered. Millions of naira ransom recovered, which I do tender on social media space. 5,400,000 naira is not what will stain my name. Not on this mission. It's not possible. So every mission to strike, every plan to see how to weaken me, to make me to stop doing this, is not possible. If anybody have any grievances against me, against my work, what I expect you to do is just put up a petition, let the police investigate thoroughly. The police, DSS, the military can investigate thoroughly to know what went wrong. Last time we were in Agenebo, the DSS was with us. I was the one who was leading, who was providing the lead for what we were going for. We were in Obiaroko a few days ago. I was the one who was at the front. Like I'll be at the front. The ones carrying gun will be at my back. The ones with gun will be at my back. I'll be at the front, leading the way. That is how risky it is. But there are things we are doing. Involving everything that I cannot talk about on social media space. Alright. So sorry guys if I disappoint you with my response like this. This is my response. Alright. If you want to drag me anywhere, drag me. But one thing you should know is you cannot weaken what we have built. I'm giving out for free, not for individual, but to government, security agencies, and everybody. Love you guys. Thanks for your concern. Thanks for your solidarity. God bless you all.
Alright, so Harrison Gwamnishu is in the police custody in Benin, Edo State. He was arrested yesterday night. In all honesty, I initiated the call that led to his arrest. I did. And first of all, I'm really disappointed in everything, but I would wait for him to come out, and this time I would want him to use his mouth to say the truth about what happened in Awuchi. You see, when the whole thing happened, they called me. When they told me, I was surprised. So I had to make other calls, spoke to the police, asked different questions, and when the story was true, I was sad, right? Immediately I told them something. I said, I don't want to see this thing on social media. Please, nobody should post it for a reason. They say, no, that they are going to put. I say, no, don't post it. And they assured me that they were not going to post it. Then later, I now saw a video online where one guy said, "Oh, posted it." I called him. I said, but I told you guys not to post this video. He said that they are accusing him because he's the one that called Harrison to come to Edo State. That they are accusing him that him and Harrison did the business together, and that if anything happened to the husband that is in the bush, that is him that will take responsibility for that. Now that was why he panicked and he went to go and post to clear his name. I said, okay, no problem. Then I went back online and saw that Harrison had now made his own video to explain. But when I watched the video, it was really gaslighting, especially because I know the truth. It was gaslighting. I was more disappointed in him because he didn't manage it well, right? Trying to counter narrative and just seek sympathy and emotional manipulation and emotional blackmail of people. I was disappointed, right? Anyways, it's in the police custody. I made that call. And when it comes out, I hope you would come and tell the public the truth. As for the money, whether he took it or not, this is a video when he returned the money.
You see this bag, like when they carry go bush, eh? You need to offload it. Do you understand? Do you understand? Even the Ghana must go, don't wait for Ghana must go. You go offload them. If you not do them.
So you could hear his voice there because they told them not to record, but one person managed. The DPO instructed them not to record. One person managed to make that. His truck is in the police station in Edo State, and right now he's in Benin. So let's wait for him to come out. Then if he come out and he does not say the truth, I guess I will have to say it. Now, I also need to highlight something. Some people will say very dark man is probably jealous because Harrison is getting audience. Of course, because lately they've been comparing the both of us. Harrison is the best activist, very dark man is not an activist, and blah blah blah. So truth is, I am not an activist. I hate to be called an activist, and I don't really care about that. When it comes to the audience, I have more audience than literally almost everybody, right? I get more engagement than Richard, so it's not about jealousy. You know what my platform is for? My platform is for the truth. And when I see evil, I spill. But for Harrison, sentiment entered because we talk sometimes in the DM. Not always, but and I just go straight to the point with him in the DM, straight to the point. You know, but I'm just disappointed, honestly, because honestly I thought he had changed. You know, but this one is just, yeah. If he didn't make that video to gaslight yesterday, I probably would have just let everything play out, make it carry win. But come on. Anyways, let's wait for Harrison to come out. Peace and love, don't play. If you play, go online and go learn the hard way.
I just want to make you people understand that Harrison is in police custody now. And Harrison, though they agree on so many things. I say, if Harrison say, you know, the police custody as I talk to you, may come on IG. Make video, may we see. So my people, this matter, God would help us.
Alright, so why did the kidnappers suspect that the 20 million is not complete? And why did the kidnappers start arguing with the people that came to make the drop? Because according to the kidnappers, the last person that paid ransom of 20 million, which they came to make the drop, is about a girl. That money was not complete. When they released the girl, they found out that millions of naira were missing from that money, and it was replaced with carton. So that was why they suspected immediately that that 20 million was not complete. But there was no time to count it. And the person that came to make the drop with Harrison's driver, the person that came to make the drop, also suspected, because the way they arranged the money is not the way the money came out. The money was scattered and then they arranged the money. So, but they had to confidently argue with the kidnappers because they know that there's no time for them to count it. At the end of the day, the kidnappers say, okay, I've been doing this business for 15 years. If I see 100 million, I know it's 100 million. This one is not 20 million, but this is what we'll do. We'll give you the wife to take. Do you understand? Listen. We'll give you the wife to go with. Then we'll count the money. If we count the money and it is complete 20 million, We will give the husband transportation money to come back home. But do you know where the problem is? They did not say what they will do if they find out the money is not complete. You see where there's a problem now. So they left with the wife. And when they got there, the guy started arguing that Harrison, the way they rearranged the money and when we got there is different. Harrison, some money is missing. Harrison argued. Eventually, Harrison agreed. Say carry money. You remember, the goal of all of this is to make sure the husband and wife is released. They don't release wife, they remain husband. Kidnapper don't talk say they go release the husband if the money they complete. But they did not say what they would do if that money is not complete. And as I speak to you now, kidnappers have still not reached out to the family. As I speak to you now, they are still not sure if kidnapper don't buy the man or not. But God forbid. Now, when I heard about it, I told them, do not come on the media, because I had calculated a lot of things. I said, just keep quiet. Keep the kidnappers guessing. If you people made a mistake or not, let's just wait for their call. That was what was going on in my head. Then one of them now went to go and make a video out of the threats that they were threatening him, that he's the one that brought Harrison. And if anything happened to their brother, now him, they will enter. That's why that one now went to go and make a video that Harrison carried money. But Harrison made one mistake. Remember, somebody there in captivity with kidnappers. Harrison would have just made a video to say, we are working on getting the guy out. For now, I don't have anything to say. That will also keep the kidnappers guessing. But Harrison made a very big mistake. Do you understand? Because those people, the family, they are waiting that if the kidnappers call, they will tell them that, see you, the person that is supposed to come and make the job took some money out of it. It has nothing to do with us. We are not playing with you. So their prayer of the family is that they call back. Then these people went on the media. Now, Harrison now further made a mistake. What is the mistake?
Number one, nobody stole any money from anywhere. I told you guys before that there are technologies that can be used to get the kidnappers, and we've succeeded. A lot of them has been neutralized. A lot of guns recovered. Millions of naira ransom recovered.
Harrison said no money was missing. By saying no money was missing, remember, these people did social media. These kidnappers, they are on social media. By saying this no money was missing, is indirectly spoiling the chances that the family have. That chance of saying if kidnapper later call them, they will tell them, say, see what happened. It is not us. See who carry money, Mona no verse, but we'll bring the money back. Please return our brother. We did not plan to scam you. We did not plan to lie to you. We are sorry. Harrison ruined the chance by saying nothing was missing. He didn't just stop there. He went on to say they have technologies to neutralize, to collect and all that. Another message to these kidnappers that are holding this man. There's a possible chance that they are being set up. And that money that is missing is a sign of something, a technology that is somewhere. You see, this is the part where I decide to step in. I also needed to send a message because Harrison has a bigger platform than the people accusing him. So I needed to send a message to the kidnappers that this family did not plan to scam you. So Harrison took the money. That was why I initiated the call. But again, up till now, these kidnappers have not called. And I hope they've not buy that man. You see, where is the problem now? And this is why I made the call. It was to send a message to them that the family no get hand. And if they watch this video, the family no get hand. It was a mistake. They didn't plan to scam you or lie to you. Do you understand? That's number one. Number two, you see, I am actually protecting him. Because if message come, God forbid, say they buy that man, nobody's going to let Harrison go. God to say, you know, carry money. Therefore, release the husband and the wife. You see the problem now. So for that station where they, it's the best place it can be right now. And let's hope and pray that they release that man. But like I said, to the kidnappers, now they are our media. The family no plan to scam now. Again, I watched the Harrison video. Why? You didn't need to see all of that. Say the kidnapper talk say, now only the man they go release, they no go release. Now only the woman they go release. No. He said, the DPO now said that they did not arrest him. The DPO just collected his car, that he wants to keep it. The story did not connect. But yes, the DPO did not arrest him eventually because Harrison said he didn't take the money. After a while, he agreed and he brought the one he took. The DPO could not arrest him. Why? According to the DPO, Harrison told him that his boys are already clamping down on the kidnappers, that they have seen where the kidnappers are. It's just to arrest them. So the DPO could not arrest Harrison, so that tomorrow Harrison will not say, we almost arrested them. If not that the DPO detained me, we would have arrested all of them. That was why the DPO let him go that night and say, okay, your truck will be here. Because the DPO, it was between the devil and the DPO. See? So they say, okay, they go. Then in the morning, Harrison, he moved. He told the DPO that he needed to do some internet control. That was why. That's why they let him go. Do you understand? But the main thing is that man is still there. They've not received any call from the kidnappers yet. At all. And again, yeah, I'm scared. Because the kidnappers are saying the last money where they can't drop for one person where they kidnap, they remove money inside. They replace them with paper. I needed to do what I had to do to just send the message. I have a bigger platform. They go see them. I had to do what I had just to let them know this family no get anything to do with the money we miss. Make them know if you say that they use them play. From there they can't go buy the man. That's it. Nothing more. And for those of you saying it's a setup, a trap that is meant for a rat in the house cannot catch a cat because the cat does not move like the rat. I repeat, a trap that was set for a rat in the house cannot catch a cat because a cat does not move like a rat. If it was a setup, did he take the money? The setup needed to be complete if he took it. If he didn't take it, there will not be any setup. Just for you people thinking it's a setup, there will not be any setup. But my point is this, to the kidnappers and co, the family have nothing to do with that money that is missing. And they don't intend to play games with you. Please release the husband. Please release the husband. Please release the husband. The money can be completed and arranged and sent back to you. Any location loan I want, they will carry and come. Change your location, anything. In short, you can have it taken anywhere. Please, do not hurt that man. That's nothing to do with them. The family did not do anything. Please. Please. Please.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Nigeria's prominent music icon, innocent Idibia a.k.a. Two-Face Idibia has cried out for help after domestic violence he had with his new wife, Natasha, during social media live stream organized by Daddy Freeze on Monday over allegations and video evidence that surfaced online showing Two-Face Idibia being arrested with the two of his hands handcuffed at the back in London due to altercations he had with his new wife, Natasha. The act of domestic violence between the African Queen music crooner and his new wife has drawn the attention of the Edo State House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly on Tuesday summoned the wife, Natasha, who is also a member of Parliament in the Edo State House of Assembly, to appear before its disciplinary committee on ethics over what the State Assembly described as a behavior capable of embarrassing the House. It may be recalled that at the beginning of the year, Two-Face Idibia announced his break-up with Annie Macaulay in January 2025 and presented Natasha as new wife-to-be. Soon, Two-Face's younger brother, Charles Idibia, came online and said his elder brother, Tubaba has moved from frying pan to burning furnace, expressing deep displeasure over the choice of Honorable Natasha as a wife. Two-Face Idibia, in an Instagram story a few hours ago, made a simple post with a write-up, "Help me." He did not state what he wants people to help him with or give a clearer picture of whatever he needed help for. Many people in the society included suggested the needed help may not be unconnected with marital issues he's probably having with his new wife, Natasha. But in a video later today, he said, "This is getting out of hand. It's a very dangerous situation. I understand what fans can do, but I am perfectly okay. This is putting Natasha at risk. Please, I need everybody to calm down and cease. We're gonna resolve all these issues. People they get issues for house Nobi today. Please friends, family, everybody cease fire. Please, I am perfectly fine. I didn't post that post." The Nigerian music icon, Two-Face Idibia, addressed growing concerns after a troubling post circulated online suggesting he was in distress and calling for help. The Edo State House of Assembly on Tuesday summoned the wife and the lawmaker representing Igor constituency, Natasha Robosa, to explain what members describe as behavior capable of embarrassing the House after videos of the legislator, who is married to music star Innocent Tubaba Idibia, kept spreading online. According to the Speaker, Blessing Agbebeku, the lawmaker must appear before the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges within 1 week to respond to the allegation of misconduct linked to her recent actions. Agbebeku said, "Honorable Natasha Robosa has been summoned to appear before the Ethics and Privilege Committee of the Assembly due to her recent conduct, which has been trending online. This conduct drags the name of the House into the mud, and it is the responsibility of the members of the Assembly to conduct themselves well. This House has cerebral minds, educated people who had been dragged in the mud for too long by our colleague, Honorable Natasha. She has been trending on social media and television for the wrong reason. The House has members who know what they are doing, and the attitude of our member has brought this House to disrepute, and we will not tolerate it." The Speaker noted that the committee would submit its finding to the House in 2 weeks' time. Robosa has been trending for the wrong reasons recently after a video where she was having an altercation with her husband, Innocent Idibia, surfaced online. A tense moment erupted when Tubaba suddenly joined an online meeting Daddy Freeze hosted for the singer's former managers. Viewers couldn't believe what followed next as Tubaba's wife Natasha Asawaru bumped into him while he was on air. The social media broadcast featured 2 of the singer's former management associates, Kaka Igbokwe and Lori Tozin, who alleged that Natasha was exerting excessive control over his personal and professional affairs. During the session, the duo claimed the lawmaker often displayed violent outbursts and referenced previous incidents involving the couple, including an alleged domestic disturbance in the United Kingdom. While the claims were being made, Tubaba abruptly joined the live stream and ordered the former managers to stop discussing his private life. Moments later, raised voices believed to be the singer and his wife were heard in the background before the session ended abruptly. The development has heightened public scrutiny of the couple's relationship, which became public after Tubaba announced his separation from actress Annie Idibia in January. He proposed to Asawaru in February, and the pair tied the knot in July. The latest controversy follows earlier claims that the singer was briefly taken into police custody in the UK after an alleged altercation with Natasha during his tour in October. Although Tubaba dismissed that account, insisting he missed a show due to a medical emergency, the claims resurfaced after the live session. Kaka Igbokwe, former manager of Two-Face and son of the late Nigerian music legend, Christy Essien Igbokwe, confirmed that the old trending video of Tubaba being arrested in London after he had a heated altercation with his pregnant wife, Natasha Asawaru, was true. Recall that Tubaba traveled to the United Kingdom in the company of his pregnant wife for a concert tour, but missed a scheduled show on October 2, 2025. His absence led to rumors that he had been arrested after a fight with his new wife, who is also a lawmaker in Edo State House of Assembly, Natasha Asawaru, at the airport. However, confirming the report, while featuring on Daddy Freeze's Instagram live session. On Monday evening, Igboukwe said, "Everything you heard about the couple's face-off was true." Narrating how the altercation happened, Igboukwe, who was part of the London team, and was in the same flight with them, said, Natasha got upset when she felt Tubaba abandoned her after they landed at the airport and strolled away with fans who ushered him into a shop. However, when the African Queen, crooner, realized that Natasha was left behind, he hurriedly ran back to her as she lashed out at him, leading to his being arrested and handcuffed. The video, which was posted on December 1, 2025, had sparked fresh debate online, with many Nigerians revisiting a story Tubaba had already denied. In a video posted on Instagram, Tubaba denied the reports and explained that he missed the show because of a medical emergency. At the time, he and fans dismissed the report, but the story continued to circulate on gossip sites and social media. The controversy returned after Tosin Silverdom, a blogger, posted what he described as new evidence, a video clip on Instagram and X on December 1, which he said shows Tubaba being arrested at London's Gatwick Airport after a heated argument with Natasha. In the caption, he wrote, "Video of Tuface Idibia being arrested by the police in the UK after an alleged altercation with his wife Natasha, and video of heated argument at the airport." The video is finally out. Screenshots from the clip shared by commentators appear to show officers speaking with Tubaba outside a store before escorting him out of the building. We had reported that, after watching his elder brother, innocent Idibia a.k.a. Two-Face, took to Instagram social media early morning midnight to post a video of him, Two-Face, apologizing to Natasha Asawaru and the general public over the opinion he had expressed in a podcast interview. The African Queen music maestro's younger brother, Charles Idibia a.k.a. Charlie Brave, also took to Instagram nearly around noon to narrate how his elder brother, Two-Face, is currently and allegedly living in bondage in the hand of Natasha Asawaru, specifically stating that it was Natasha Asawaru who used Two-Face's social media handle to announce to the public Two-Face's marriage breakup with Annie Macaulay, adding, "Natasha Asawaru do go through Two-Face's phone, deleting WhatsApp messages she does not like," narrating also how Natasha Asawaru allegedly impersonated Two-Face, by thus writing on Two-Face's social media page, where the allegedly impersonated Two-Face was seen to have asked the general public to help him beg Natasha Asawaru to marry him. This, Charles Idibia said, his elder brother, Tubaba, has moved from a frying pan that almost killed him to an industrial furnace that will completely destroy him and his career legacy.
Fans, you know what I am perfectly understand. And this is really the question of music. It's not fair on anybody to do this kind of thing. It's not fair on anybody. So please, I need everybody.
This kind piece of mind get as he be. When Annie dey with Two-Face, nobody dey hear all this kind of thing. Now, wow, peace of mind.
Right, the person is going to say yes, please, escape him. I beg you. I am perfectly fine. I will not pull up. Yeah, we can't only go together, but I think we don't please. I'm okay. This is getting out of time. Don't worry. And I'll sort that out. This is a dangerous situation, right? They just questioning. I know what fans do. I know what I am perfectly understand what I'm saying. No, man. And this is really pressure. It's not fair on anybody to do this kind of thing.
Baba has joined.
It's not fair on anybody at all. So please, I need everybody to calm down. I need everybody.
You need to shut the fuck up. You need to just shut the fuck up.
People will get
you need to shut the fuck up, man. You need to shut the fuck up.
This is getting out of hand. Please, friends, family, everybody. Ceasefire. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I am perfectly fine. I did not pull that. Please. I'm okay. Please.
what did they do now? So what did they do?
This is getting out of hand. And this is a dangerous situation right now. I know what fans can do. I know what people can do. I am perfectly.
I said something. I didn't want to record it. What's happening?
Guys, calm down. Let's.
It's not fair on anybody to do this kind of thing. It's not fair on anybody at all. So please, I need everybody to calm down.
Let's hope that there will be some stability so we can.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Presidency under the command and control of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that if the ex-president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, wished to help in addressing apparent worsening security situations in the West Africa country, Obasanjo must first acknowledge the past failures that allowed terrorists to gain a foothold, and then support ongoing efforts, not undermine them. The presidency, through the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Communications, Sunday Dare stated this few days ago in reactions to the statement of Obasanjo that Nigerians have rights to call on international community's intervention if the government can no longer protect them, stating that the terrorists also kill people of other religions should not be an excuse. This, Obasanjo said while he was speaking at a Christmas carol event in Jos, Plateau State, after President Donald Trump of the United States, U.S. had raised alarm of what the U.S. president described as Christians' genocide in Nigeria and threatened to send U.S. troops to Nigeria if the killing of Christians continued by the suspected Islamic terrorists. A presidential statement that has seen spike in the activities of kidnapping and killings in Nigeria and thus creating more attention to the apparent unsafe nature of the country, which included the abduction of 25 schoolgirls from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, Kebbi, the kidnapping of 38 worshippers in Ereku, Kwara, and the mass abduction of over 300 students and teachers still in captivity at a Catholic school in Niger State, with daily wave of coordinated attacks across the northern and southern parts of the country, wherein the bandits, often suspected to be Fulani herdsmen, have abducted monarchs, worshippers, a bride, married couples, students and travelers, taking at least 600 people as captives within 14 days. And the rising unsafe nature of things could have made the Nigeria's defense minister, Alhaji Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, to tender resignation letter on Monday, while the immediate past chief of defense staff, General Christopher Musa, has since been appointed as the new defense minister, and the Senate has scheduled today, Wednesday, for his screening in line with the law and constitutional procedures of the Africa country. According to Obasanjo, no matter what religion you belong to, no matter where you come from, no matter what profession, we Nigerians are being killed. And our governments seem to be incapable of protecting us. We are part of the world community. If our government cannot do it, we have right to call on the international community to do for us what our government cannot do for us. And for anybody to say because those who are being killed belong to this region, belong to this religion, belong to this tribe, and then others too are being killed, cannot be an acceptable excuse. Before I left government, I know we had capacity to pick up anybody in Nigeria who commits crime anywhere. The capacity that we didn't have then is, after we have identified and located such a criminal, we have no capacity to be able to pick him up without moving on land or by air. Now we have capacity with drones. You can take him up. Why are we not doing that? Why are we apologizing? Why are we negotiating? In a statement on Sunday, Dare warned that Obasanjo's comments risk distorting the security realities and undermining public confidence. He argued that if the former president truly intends to contribute meaningfully, he must first accept responsibility for past failures. Sunday Dare, in the statement titled, "Between Tinubu's Capability and the Ignobility of Pseudo-Statesmanship," stated that the recent comments by a former president and a few habitual presidential aspirants attempting to paint the Tinubu administration as unable to protect Nigerians are not merely hypocritical but ignoble. They ignore the hard truth. Nigeria is facing terrorists. All of them, by every definition, be they international, regional, or local. Yet the very individuals who looked away when these threats first sprouted now want to sit in judgment. Nigerians know better. The suggestion that Nigeria should effectively subcontract its internal security to foreign governments is not statesmanship. It is capitulation. Before recommending surrender, the former president should reflect on what he failed to do when these terrorists first began organizing under his watch. 1. Nigeria is under attack by terrorists. Full stop. No euphemisms. No soft language. The people killing Nigerians, raiding villages, kidnapping innocents, blowing up infrastructure, and challenging state authority are terrorists, whether they fly a foreign flag or none at all. Nigeria today confronts a multi-layered terrorist ecosystem that includes internationally designated terror organizations, ISIS-linked and Al-Qaeda-linked franchises across the Sahel, local violent extremist groups masquerading as bandits, cross-border terrorist cells exploiting porous frontiers, ideological insurgents and criminal terror hybrids operating in ungoverned spaces. These actors collaborate. They share money, ideology, weapons, intelligence, and logistics. The goal is the same: to break the Nigerian state and subjugate its people. Let's call them what they all are: terrorists. 2. Terrorism took root on his watch and grew because it was not stopped. It is historical fact that the ideological foundations and early cells of Boko Haram were incubated during Obasanjo's civilian presidency. While they recruited, indoctrinated, built camps, and flaunted authority, the state failed to act decisively. What began as a preventable extremist sect transformed into a violent insurgency, a cross-border terrorist franchise, a regional menace aligned with global jihadist movements. For the leader under whom the first seeds of terrorism were allowed to germinate to now issue public lectures is not just ironic, it is reckless. 3. Tinubu's strategy meets the threat head-on. President Tinubu is not facing a conventional security challenge. He is confronting terrorism in full-spectrum form, both internal and transnational. His strategy is clear: kinetic pressure, modernizing military capability, intensifying intelligence-led operations, squeezing terrorist mobility and dismantling logistics, retaking and holding territory, non-kinetic dominance, restoring governance in underserved and contested zones, deploying economic stabilization and community programs, counter-radicalization and reintegration initiatives, building trust to deny terrorists the human terrain they exploit, whole of government, whole of nation. Because terrorists thrive in division, Nigeria defeats them through unity. Sovereignty first. Nigeria will cooperate internationally, yes, but it will not outsource its security or raise a white flag because someone who once had the chance lost his nerve. Yes, Nigeria needs the support and understanding of the United States, and that is already ongoing. And of course the collaboration of other allied nations. The crime at hand is transnational. Every ungoverned space must come under scrutiny. 4. Leaders who undermine Nigeria strengthen terrorists. When former leaders disparage the nation's capacity, they hand psychological victories to the very terrorists murdering, kidnapping and extorting Nigerians, terrorizing Nigerians in plain language. A real statesman offers support, not sound bites. If Obasanjo wishes to help, he should acknowledge the past failures that allowed terrorists to gain a foothold, and then support ongoing efforts, not undermine them. Let him put his position and connections at Nigeria's disposal like he has done for other countries. Not seek to put down an administration that is fully engaging in many fronts: economic turnaround, providing security and building key infrastructure. 5. Under Tinubu, Nigeria will defeat terrorism. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains committed to securing every inch of Nigeria by confronting terrorists with strength, unity, and a whole-of-government strategy. Let all patriots join hands now and not raise alarms. This administration will not be distracted by selective amnesia wrapped in elder statesmanship, nor will it allow those who midwifed Nigeria's early security failures to rewrite history.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria has declared a state of emergency over growing insecurity in the West Africa country, and as such, banned open grazing, with a call on Herders Association to tell their members to surrender illegal weapons in their possession, and as well gave a matching order to the Department of State Services, DSS, to recruit more forest guards to chase away terrorists and bandits from all forests in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also called on members of the National Assembly to review existing laws in Nigeria and give rooms for the establishment of state police. In his words, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while declaring the state of emergency on security matters on Wednesday, said, "Today, in view of the emerging security situation, I have decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and order additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total to 50,000. Although I had previously approved the nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authorities are, by this statement, authorized to use various National Youth Service Corps camps as training depots. The officers being withdrawn from VIP guard duties should undergo crash training to debrief them and deliver more efficient police services when deployed to security-challenged areas of the country. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guards already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our forests. The agency also has my directive to recruit more men to man the forests. There will be no more hiding places for agents of evil. My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency, and we are responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security-challenged areas. The times require all hands on deck. As Nigerians, we should all get involved in securing our nation. Let me take this moment to commend our security agencies for working together to secure the release of the 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the 38 worshippers in Kwara State. We will continue to sustain the efforts to rescue the remaining students of Catholic school in Niger State and other Nigerians still being held hostage. To the leadership and rank and file of our armed forces, I commend your courage and your sacrifice. This is a challenging moment for our nation and for the military institution itself. I charge you to remain resolute, to restore peace across all theaters of operation, and to uphold the highest standards of discipline and integrity. There must be no compromise, no collusion, and no negligence. The Nigerian people are counting on you, and this administration will provide the support you need to succeed. In addition, our administration will support state governments which have set up security outfits to safeguard their people from the terrorists bent on disrupting our national peace. I call on the National Assembly to begin reviewing our laws to allow states that require state police to establish them. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate security. Mosques and churches should constantly seek police and other security protection when they gather for prayers, especially in vulnerable areas. Our administration created the Livestock Ministry to address the persistent clashes between herders and farmers. I call on all herder associations to take advantage of it, end open grazing and surrender illegal weapons. Ranching is now the path forward for sustainable livestock farming and national harmony. The federal government, in collaboration with the states, will work with you to solve this problem, once and for all. I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in recent attacks on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, and Kwara states. I also pay tribute to our brave soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, including Brigadier General Musa Uba. Those who want to test our resolve should never mistake our restraint for weakness. This administration has the courage and determination to keep the country safe and ensure our citizens live in peace. I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in recent attacks on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, and Kwara states. I also pay tribute to our brave soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, including Brigadier General Musa Uba. Fellow compatriots, I urge you not to give in to fear and never succumb to despair. Let's stand together in purpose and strength to defend our freedom and values. Our administration will continue to guarantee peaceful coexistence and preserve our union. I urge all Nigerians to remain calm and vigilant. Report suspicious activities. Cooperate with security agencies. We are in this fight together, and together we shall win. May God continue to bless Nigeria and keep our armed forces safe.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
There are concerns that a renewed war may break out between Israel and Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon as Pope Leo XIV prepares to visit Turkey and Lebanon beginning this week, from the 27th of November to the 2nd of December 2025, which will be the first apostolic journey of the head of Catholic Church outside Italy of his pontificate. The possible renewed war may occur following Hezbollah stands to retaliate attacks Israel launched in the capital of Lebanon, Beirut on Sunday, killing Hezbollah chief of staff and second in command, Haytham Ali Tabatabai alongside 4 other persons, namely, Qasim Hussein Bajawi, Mustafa Assad Bero, Rifat Ahmed Hussein, Ibrahim Ali Hussein, and funeral is being held in their honor in Beirut as at the time of filing in this report on Monday. Israel, while confirming the killings, said, Tabatabai is a mass murderer, his hands are soaked in the blood of many Israelis and Americans, and it is not for nothing that the US put a bounty of $5 million on his head, although previous popes had visited Lebanon in the past successfully, but the current pope, Pope Leo XIV, is the first US-born citizen to be pontiff or head of the Roman Catholic Church. And one of the Hezbollah official, Mahmoud Qumati, in a statement on Sunday as he stood near the bombed-out building in the Harid Rake suburb, said, Israel's strike crossed a red line, and Hezbollah's leadership would decide on whether and how the group would respond. The Hezbollah, while confirming Tabatabai's death, said, Tabatabai, the great jihadist commander, who had worked to confront Israeli enemy until the last moment of his blessed life, ascended as a martyr in sacrifice for Lebanon and its people following a treacherous Israeli attack on Harid Rake area in Beirut's southern suburb. Israel carried out the airstrike on the southern Beirut suburb for the first time since June, killing at least 5 people and wounding 28, according to Lebanon Health Ministry. Funeral proceedings for Haytham Ali Tabatabai, the Hezbollah commander, and others were held on Monday in Beirut's southern suburbs. Early photographs and videos from the scene showed Hezbollah members carrying Tabatabai's coffin, draped in yellow and green, and raising the group's yellow flags as they marched through the Lebanese capital. Hezbollah said the strike, launched almost exactly a year after a ceasefire ended that Israel-Hezbollah war, threatened an escalation of attacks, just days before Pope Leo XIV is scheduled to visit Lebanon on his first foreign trip outside Italy. In its statement, the IDF said Tabatabai commanded most of Hezbollah's units and worked hard to restore them to readiness for war with Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office said earlier Sunday that the Hezbollah chief of staff was the target of the Israeli strike on southern Beirut. Office of the Prime Minister of Israel, in a statement on Sunday, said, a short while ago, in the heart of Beirut, the IDF attacked the Hezbollah chief of staff, who had been leading the terrorist organization's build-up and rearmament. Prime Minister Netanyahu ordered the attack upon the recommendation of the defense minister and the IDF chief of staff. Israel is determined to act to achieve its objectives everywhere and at all times. The Israeli Prime Minister office also quoted the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as saying, a few hours ago, the IDF eliminated Ali Tabatabai, the chief of staff of the Hezbollah terrorist organization. Tabatabai is a mass murderer. His hands are soaked in the blood of many Israelis and Americans, and it is not for nothing that the US put a bounty of $5 million on his head. Tabatabai served as a senior commander in the Radwan force. This is the force that prepared to conquer the Galilee and slaughter many of our citizens. Recently, he led Hezbollah's renewed efforts to rearm. This is of course after the heavy blows Hezbollah suffered in the Pager operation, in the damage to its missile stockpiles, and of course, in the elimination of Nasrallah. I thank the IDF and the security forces which carried out a professional, accurate, and successful operation today. The policy I am leading is absolutely clear. Under my leadership, the State of Israel will not allow Hezbollah to rebuild its power, and we will not allow it to pose a threat to the State of Israel again. I expect the government of Lebanon to fulfill its commitment to disarm Hezbollah. Because only in this way can a better future be made possible for every citizen in Lebanon, and only in this way can good and secure neighborly relations be established between Israel and Lebanon. On this occasion, I also want to commend President Trump on his decision to outlaw and designate the Muslim Brotherhood organization as a terrorist organization. This is an organization that endangers stability throughout the Middle East and also beyond the Middle East. Therefore, the State of Israel has already outlawed part of the organization, and we are working to complete this action soon. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun said in a statement issued by his office that Israel's strike in Beirut on Sunday was further proof that it disregards repeated calls to cease its attacks on Lebanon and refuses to implement international resolutions and all efforts and initiatives aimed at ending the escalation and restoring stability, not only to Lebanon but to the entire region. Lebanon, which has adhered to the cessation of hostilities for nearly a year now and has presented initiative after initiative, reiterates its call to the international community to assume its responsibility and intervene firmly and seriously to stop the attacks on Lebanon and its people, Aoun said. Vatican News in a statement had announced Pope Leo XIV's visit to Lebanon as follows: Turkey. On Monday, the Holy See released the schedule for the Pope's journey, which will begin in Turkey on the 27th of November. Upon his arrival in the capital, Ankara, the Holy Father will meet with the nation's president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, before addressing Turkish authorities, representatives of civil society, and members of the diplomatic corps. At the end of the day, the Pope will travel by plane from Ankara to Istanbul, Turkey's largest city. During his first full day in Turkey, Friday the 28th of November, Pope Leo will meet with bishops, priests, deacons, consecrated persons and pastoral workers at Istanbul's Cathedral of the Holy Spirit. Later in the morning, he will visit the nursing home of the Little Sisters of the Poor. After a short helicopter flight to Nisa, modern Iznik, the Holy Father will participate in an ecumenical prayer service near the archaeological excavations of the ancient Basilica of St. Neophytos. Returning that same day to Istanbul, the Pope will meet with bishops in the apostolic delegation. On Saturday the 29th of November, Pope Leo will begin his day with a visit to the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, the famous Blue Mosque, before meeting privately with leaders of the local churches and Christian communities at the Syriac Orthodox Church of Mor Ephraim. In the afternoon, he will take part in a doxology at the Patriarchal Church of St. George, the seat of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. Following the service, Pope Leo XIV will meet with Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew I, with the two leaders signing a joint declaration in the Patriarchal Palace. The day will conclude with Holy Mass celebrated in Istanbul's Volkswagen Arena. The Holy Father's schedule for Sunday the 30th of November, the Feast of St. Andrew the Apostle, begins with a prayer visit to the Armenian Apostolic Cathedral. Later that morning, Pope Leo will attend a divine liturgy at the Patriarchal Church of St. George. Following an ecumenical blessing at the conclusion of the liturgy, the Pope will have lunch with Ecumenical Patriarch. Lebanon. In the afternoon, after a farewell ceremony at Istanbul's Ataturk Airport, Pope Leo XIV would begin the second leg of his apostolic journey by flying to Beirut, Lebanon. Upon his arrival, the Pope will hold separate meetings with the President of the Republic, the President of the National Assembly, and the Prime Minister of Lebanon. He will then give his customary address to Lebanese authorities, representatives of civil society, and members of the diplomatic corps. Pope Leo has a busy day on Monday the 1st of December, beginning with a visit to the tomb of Saint Charbel Makhlouf at the monastery of Saint Maroun in Anaya. From there, he travels to the shrine of Our Lady of Lebanon in Harissa, where he will meet with bishops, priests, consecrated persons and pastoral workers. The morning concludes with a private meeting with Catholic patriarchs in the Apostolic Nunciature. In the afternoon, Pope Leo will hold an ecumenical and interreligious meeting in Martyrs Square in Beirut. Later, in the square in front of the Maronite Patriarchate of Antioch in Bikirke, Pope Leo will meet with young people of Lebanon. The final day of the Pope's apostolic journey, Tuesday the 2nd of December, will see the Holy Father visiting staff members and patients of the De La Croix Hospital in Jal ed-Dib. Pope Leo will then have the opportunity for silent prayer at the site of the Beirut port explosion, which occurred in 2020. The Holy Father will then celebrate Holy Mass at the Beirut waterfront, the final major event of the journey to Lebanon. Pope Leo is scheduled to depart from Beirut Tuesday afternoon, with a scheduled arrival at Rome's Fiumicino International Airport shortly after 4 p.m. Hezbollah, in a statement of confirmation on Monday, said, "With utmost pride and honor, Hezbollah announces to the people of the resistance and to our Lebanese people the martyrdom of the great jihadi commander, Haytham Ali al-Tabatabai, Said Abu Ali, who ascended as a martyr in sacrifice for Lebanon and its people following a treacherous Israeli attack on Harat Reik area in Beirut's southern suburb. The great commander joined his martyred brothers after a long period of awaiting the meeting with Allah Almighty, following a life filled with jihad, sincerity, dedication, and steadfastness on the path of resistance. He spent his blessed life working tirelessly in confronting the Israeli enemy until his last moments. He knew no fatigue or hesitation in defending his land and people. He dedicated his life to the resistance since its inception and was among the leaders who laid its foundational structure, enabling it to remain strong, dignified, and capable of defending the homeland and achieving victories. Allah bestowed upon him the lofty honor of martyrdom, and his great sacrifice will inspire his brothers in the resistance with renewed hope, determination, and strength to persist on this path. As he was in his life a source of strength and inspiration, his pure blood will empower the fighters to continue with steadfastness and courage to thwart all the schemes of the Zionist enemy and its sponsor, America. We extend our condolences and congratulations to our master, the Imam of the age, Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, to his brothers fighters and fellow resistance fighters, to the steadfast supporters of the resistance, and to all free people in the world on the martyrdom of this great jihadi commander and his companions who were martyred alongside him. We also extend our condolences to their honorable families, asking Allah Almighty to grant them patience and comfort, and wishing the wounded a swift recovery.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, Nigeria Federal Capital Territory on Thursday convicted and sentenced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to a passionate prison term of life imprisonment against the penalty of death sentence he said he ought to have pronounced on the Biafra Republic agitation leader over the statements Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made on October 20, 2020 through Radio Biafra during the war-like situation between the civilian population and Nigeria security operatives following series of reports that the Nigeria security operatives were shooting and killing innocent unarmed protesters, who were protesting against bad government and police brutalities tagged Ends's protest. Justice Omotosho in his ruling, said, Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for the killing of 175 security operatives during the Ends's civil-military war-like situation on October 20, 2020, and Justice Omotosho in his ruling, failed to state the numbers of civilians that were killed by Nigeria security operatives during the war-like situation that apparently forced Nnamdi Kanu to start teaching the civilians on how to manufacture Molotov cocktail, also known as petrol bombs, urging them to go and meet welders to buy bulletproof doors from the welders to defend themselves, and launched a retaliatory defensive attacks against the Nigeria security operatives who were accused of turning the peaceful protest into a barrage of gunfire, human rights violations and abuses. Justice Omotosho convicted Nnamdi Kanu on counts 4 and 5 over the Ends's protest, and he described Nnamdi Kanu action during the violent protest as an act of terrorism. On count 1, Justice Omotosho convicted Nnamdi Kanu for an act of preparatory to commit terrorism over statements made by Nnamdi Kanu in May 2021. Justice Omotosho in the ruling claimed and ruled that Nnamdi Kanu declared war against security operatives in the southeast states without provocation. This statement by Justice Omotosho apparently made him look like a biased person, because after Justice Obasanjo read the entire 7-count charge and convicted Nnamdi Kanu, Justice Obasanjo thereafter recognized a media news report and broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu on April 25, 2021, wherein Nnamdi Kanu vowed to avenge the killing of Obasanjo, the then head of Eastern Security Network, ESN, by a combined team of Nigeria security operatives led by the Nigerian Army under the command of former Chief of Army Staff, late Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, who was then the General Officer commanding GOC 82 Division. The Nigerian Army insisted in its report that Obasanjo was killed during exchange of gunfire with the security operatives, but Nnamdi Kanu rejected the claim and repeatedly stated that Obasanjo was killed in his sleep and the killing was a pure case of assassination by the federal government of Nigeria as a way to weaken the people of southeast states and deny them the ability to be able to establish the Eastern Security Network, ESN, to defend themselves against Boko Haram terrorists and expansionists foreign Fulani invaders from different countries like Mali, Gambia, Senegal, Nigerian Republic and Chad that were advancing from the northern part of Nigeria and cruising through the Middle Belt states to southeast, southwest and south-south states. For the record, killing of Obasanjo by security operatives apparently marked the genesis of the full-scale guerrilla war between the Biafra armed group and the armed forces of Nigeria, including other Nigeria security operatives. Justice Obasanjo also convicted Nnamdi Kanu for the creation of unlawful organization over the establishment of ESN in a broadcast Nnamdi Kanu made in December 2020, stating that the ESN has been created to protect the people of Southeast against Boko Haram terrorists. After the ruling, Justice Obasanjo stated that the Boko Haram terrorists, among other terrorist groups, are making people not to enjoy life in Nigeria. Thereafter, the prosecution lawyer, Idibia told the court that in the last few days or weeks, Nigeria has been a season of victim upon victims of terrorism. Idibio's statement may be in line with the current high rate of attacks by terrorists advancing from the northern Nigeria to the southern part, kidnapping and killing people like never before. That aside, Justice Obasanjo also ruled that Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for the killing of Ahmed Gulak, the former presidential aide who was killed on May 30, 2021 in Owerri on his way to the airport after conducting election primary. According to Justice Obasanjo, Nnamdi Kanu act of declaring sit-at-home to mark the 2021 Biafra Heroes Day led to the killing of Ahmed Gulak. In addition, Justice Obasanjo ruled that Nnamdi Kanu is responsible for the killing and beheading of military couple, Master Warrant Officer, MWO, Audu M. Linus, retired, and Private Gloria Matthew, who were on transit to Imo State for the traditional wedding on Saturday, April 30, 2022 at Olu in Imo State, a time Nnamdi Kanu had already been rearrested from Kenya and detained as of June 2021 at the custody of the Department of State Services almost a year plus before the military couple were caught and killed by gunmen suspected to be Biafra armed group. For the purpose of clarity, Justice Obasanjo attributed these events of killings to Nnamdi Kanu apparently to satisfy the basic requirements of the law in line with Nigeria criminal justice system that borders on terrorism, that Nnamdi Kanu's statements were not mere threats, that, indeed, the statements caused an impact in the society. This, Justice Obasanjo ruled and held that Nnamdi Kanu is responsible for the every Monday sit-at-home in the southeastern states of Nigeria, even in the face of the fact that the every Monday sit-at-home in the region began on August 9, 2021 after Nnamdi Kanu was not seen in court following his rearrest from Kenya, and people decided to enforce every Monday as a sit-at-home day in the southeast states of Nigeria to demand the unconditional release of the rearrested and detained Biafra Republic agitation leader. Details of the major parts of Justice Obasanjo ruling are transcribed and presented verbatim below. Their rights to make sure it happens. In the broadcast of the 16th of May 2021, also contained in the exhibit PWW, the defendant in the beginning of the broadcast stated thus: "My name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. I will remain a loyal servant on the people of Biafra. He further stated around 51 minutes mark, and I quote, "If God is on our side, which I know he is, the army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. Everybody will die. I will be the one leading it. By God's grace, everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come. I want to let Katrina Lang and the British government to know that we have chosen the path of death and people are dying every day. We have to develop the mindset of, after this, which even though NATO is there, will not. NATO is there. We say that we are ready to die and everyone that comes to kill us will die also. Because things will start happening in the next 14 days, in the next 2 weeks, the slaughter will begin to happen. You see those CNN that have refused to come to Biafra will come by force to see what is happening. We will make sure that every Nigerian soldier on Biafra soil will die. God is my witness. I will lead this barrier myself." Around 55 minutes mark to the exhibits. He said, and I quote, "I want the united government to understand that we are ready to die than be slaves," unquote. At about 1 hour mark, he said, and I quote, "Israel was named Palestinians by the Romans because they were too stubborn. Go and ask how they did it. They bombed them the Romans away. Not these roadside bombs. Every road leading to Biafra will be manned landmines. Everything that is Nigeria, whether it is police, army will blow till the kingdom come." The defendant also stated in that same broadcast, and I quote, "We are asking for our freedom. They aren't listening. But when we start doing what we want, the whole world will start begging us. And then I will come out from wherever I am and tell them that it's too late. Throw away your phones. Remain incommunicado as we are in the state of war. It will not kill you to do away with your phones. All people should go into the bush and stop the advance of this army or else they will kill you." These words spoken by the defendant in those broadcasts were not mere words, as they bear heavy traces of threats to harm people, including international representatives representing their nation in Nigeria. The said broadcasts were several in numbers, and defendant kept repeating his rhetorics that people will die if Biafra is not created. The defendant plan to commit the terrorist act did not only manifest in its broadcast, but was shown in a meeting he had with other Igbo people in the United States at a World Congress Igbo Congress meeting held at the Four Points Hotel in Los Angeles in the United States of America, as contained in Exhibit PWW. The defendant, while speaking to the audience, stated, and I quote, "We must not miss this golden opportunity. We are bound to suffer in this time to come. You must come out to support what we are doing. We need guns and we need bullets. I know we love life so much. Without it, Hausa will overrun us. They have succeeded in imposing aggression on us. They are coming. Boko Haram is coming in Igboland." A female participant stood up to ask the defendant of his objective as well as why means for weapons. The defendant responded, and I quote, "We now know that the best way to defend ourselves is to be armed because Boko Haram is everywhere in zoo called Nigeria. So we need guns and bullets, and those of you in America will give it to us. Also, on the 22nd day of this month, something will happen called the blood moon. Most of you don't know that just before the Civil War there was blood moon. There was blood moon in '67, and it only happens once in a while because after this year we will be free. No matter what happened, if we don't get Biafra, everyone will live to die." We are not joking. His intention was quite clear. He believes only in violence as the solution to the creation of Biafra as a nation. And at the said World Igbo Congress, most of the participants were quite alarmed by the expressions as is planned. And so they kept asking if he had considered the option of peaceful dialogue, to which the defendant was adamant that only violence could lead to the achievement of his aim. These threats of violence are nothing but terrorist acts which was duly carried out by his followers. As will be seen later in this judgment, the defendant knew what he was doing while making these violent statements. He obviously had an objective which won the face of, it is political, that is, secession of the state of Southeast, South and some Middle Belt states from the Federal Republic of Nigeria to form Biafra. The defendant was also bent on achieving his objective with the use of violence. And he didn't mind if his own people die in that process. As one of the crucial elements in establishing crime, the intention and the knowledge with which defendant carried out the acts can be expressed by him, if not so expressed by, can be deduced from its conduct or activities or other connected circumstances. See Buhari and Federal Republic of Nigeria. From the uncontroverted evidence led by the prosecution, particularly the procast contained in Exhibit PWW, it is clear that the defendant committed acts preparatory to an importance of terrorist acts. The defendant had the opportunity to explain but failed and deliberately refused to take that opportunity. Thus, he did not place any evidence before this court to explain the contents of the contest of the said broadcast or any reason which may be exculpatory in his favor. Having failed and deliberately refused to enter defense or give explanation, the court will rely on the uncontroverted evidence of the prosecution. This court therefore holds that the prosecution has established count 1 of the charge beyond reasonable doubts. Consequently, the defendant is hereby convicted in respect of count 1, with respect to count 1 of the charge. The defendant was charged with making a broadcast received and had in Nigeria with intent to intimidate the population, issue deadly threats that anyone who flout a sit-at-home order should write his will, as a result of which banks, schools, markets, shopping malls, fuel stations domicile in the eastern states of Nigeria were not open for businesses, citizens and vehicular movements in the eastern state of Nigeria were grounded. This offense is also punishable under Section 12 of the Terrorism Prevention Act. The ingredients are similar as contained in count 1, except that the prosecution must establish that the defendant indeed issue a threat to anyone who flouted his sit-at-home order in the southeastern state of Nigeria. The evidence as led by the prosecution shows that the defendant issued a sit-at-home order wherein he threatened the residents of the southeast states from going out. He further threatened that any church, markets, schools, banks, or shops which opened will be destroyed. This was the purpose of his broadcast of 30th day of May 2021, where he stated that he had an announcement to make regarding the short stand of the entire southeast. He stated exactly at 9 minutes 10 seconds in the broadcast contained in Exhibit PWW-DOS, and I quote, "Tomorrow being the 31st day of May, there is complete lockdown. No church, no markets, and nobody should be seen outside tomorrow. I do not want violence. I do not want anybody to resort to violence. I condemn it completely and totally. We do not want to spit the blood of the innocent. Therefore, I am urging restraint across border. I am urging our people to honor the memory of people who died. There will be no school, no church, market, banks, car on the roads. There will be complete shutdown. If you want to be alive, do not come out tomorrow. What I'm saying is that do not come out tomorrow if you value your life. There will be complete shutdown of Biafra land tomorrow. Any community that allow vehicle to pass tomorrow will be in trouble. Anybody in any car or lorry except in ambulance will be in trouble. I know some people are very foolish trying to open their shops around 12. If you open that very shop, we will burn you inside it. Especially Enugu, Umuahia, Abakaliki people. You are very stupid. Tomorrow we will show you. This statement at first sounded peaceful and even seemed as if he was only persuading people to honor the memory of some people. However, defendant in his typical aggressive way of speaking began issuing threats to those who might not want to obey his order, that might not want to obey his order. The people of the southeast are Nigerians, and I take judicial notice substantially are Christians who go to church and merchants that are into trade, and there are children who were threatened again against going to church, their places of business and schools. This court wonders if this can be said to be agitation for self-agitations. Unequivocally, I say no. The people of the southeast of Nigeria are entitled to their right to personal liberty, freedom of movement under Section 35 and Section 41 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. The third section provides, and I quote, "Every person shall be entitled to his personal liberty and no person shall be deprived of such liberty save in the following cases and in accordance with the procedure permitted by law. A. In execution of the sentence and order of court in respect of criminal offense of which he has been found guilty. B. By reason of his failure to comply with the order of court and in order to secure the fulfillment of any obligation imposed upon him by law. C. For the purpose of bringing in before a court in execution of order of court or upon reasonable substitution of his having committed a criminal offense. D. In the case of a person who has not attained the age of 18 years for the purpose of his education or welfare, he in the case of persons suffering from infectious or contagious disease, person of unsound mind, person addicted to drugs or alcohol, vagrants for those or purpose of those care or treatment or protection of community. F. For the purpose of preventing the unlawful entry of any person to Nigeria or of effecting the expulsion, extradition or unlawful removal from Nigeria of any person or the taking of proceedings relating thereto, provided that a person who is charged with an offense and who has been detained in law or in lawful custody awaiting trial shall not continue to be kept in such detention for a period longer than the maximum period of imprisonment prescribed for him. Section 41 provides every citizen is entitled to move freely throughout Nigeria to reside in any part therefore thereof, and no citizens shall be expelled from Nigeria or refuse entry thereby or exit. Therefore, they are also entitled to their right to freedom of religion as expressed under Section 38 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic Nigeria. The right to personal liberty, movement, religion are complementary of each other. Jealousy guides these rights and their basic rights which enact to them as being human beings. These rights are so fundamental. Kindly see my Lord Agagu JCA has initiated on this in Okafor versus Lagos State Government and another citation. The people of the Southeast cannot be ordered to sit at home by a person, especially for someone who is not a legally recognized official of the federal government or an official of any of the states. The only person entitled to restrict movements of person within Nigeria is the President or the Federal Republic of Nigeria under emergency power under Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. The President can order for a curfew area where there is a crisis or natural disaster. The defendant is not the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, thus lacks any power to so declare a sit-at-home in any part of the country. The defendant arrogated to himself power he lacks and with the threat of violence order the residents of the southeastern state to stay at home or face the consequences of the disobedience. This is an unconstitutional act which is subversive and amounts to nothing more than a terrorist act. It is also a notorious fact that the people of Southeast have been subjected to sit-at-home threats on Mondays for years now. PW4, who stated that he was stationed in the Southeast, especially in Imo State for some years, gave evidence that Monday sit-at-home is a usual occurrence wherein the town are deserted, even the farmlands. PW4 also gave evidence on the death of one Ahmed Gulak, a former aide to the former President Goodluck Jonathan, that the said Ahmed Gulak had been killed by IPOB men in portion to the order of defendant. Ahmed Gulak was trying to catch a flight out of Owerri on the 30th day of May 2021 when he ran into a checkpoint by IPOB and was shot dead. PW4 stated that he was one of those who got to the scene first. It must be noted that 30th of May 2021 was a Sunday, not a Monday, but notwithstanding it leads to the death of a person trying to move around due to the directive of defender as shown in exhibit. PWK is a medical report from the Nigerian Police Medical Services Owerri. The report is dated the 18th of July 2021 and it states to whom it consign. Medical report, late Ahmed Gulak, hospital number, the victim allegedly shot dead by hoodlums suspected to be IPOB ESN members on the 30th of October 2021 at about 7 hours along Airport Road, Owerri. Picture of lifeless man seen. Body of disease buried. Informations above medical reports duly signed by the medical practitioner clearly states the immediate cause of the death of Ahmed Gulak and links him to the defendant as leader of IPOB and ESN. The action of the defendant cannot be excused under any circumstances. The declaration of a sit-at-home without any constitutional power, especially the accompanied by the threat, is a terrorist act. The defendant did not present any evidence to challenge, report this case of the prosecution. Consequently, he admits the evidence as presented by the prosecution. The prosecution has successfully proved to beyond reasonable doubt. Consequently, the defendant is hereby convicted of count 2 with respect to count 3. The defendant is charged with professing to be a member of and leader of Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, a prescribed organization in which thereby committing an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 16 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2013, Section 16 of the Terrorism, Prevention Acts, and Prevention Amendment Act provides, and I quote, "Any person who is a member or professes to be a member of terrorist groups commits an offense and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for a time not less than 21 years. The ingredients of the offense from the above provide provisions are 1. The defender must be a person. 2. The defender must be a member or professes to be a member of a terrorist group. 3. The terrorist group must have been proscribed as at the time the defendant professes membership was tied as earlier established. Second ingredients. Prosecution has led evidence showing that the defendant was not just a member but he was the leader of a terrorist organization known as Indigenous People of Biafra. Indeed, in the broadcast of the 16th of May 2021 as contained in the ZBPWW, the defendant in the beginning of the clip stated this, and I quote, "My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra and director of Radio Biafra, Biafra Television. I will remain a loyal servant of the people." He further stated around 51 minutes mark into the video, "If God is on our side, which I know he is, the army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. Everybody will die. I will be the one leading it. By God's grace, everything called Nigeria will perish in Biafra land. The world must be prepared for what is to come." Unquote. In several other broadcasts, the defendant admitted being the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra. There is no fact before this court showing that defendant is not member and in fact leader of the said group. The defendant from the evidence before this court also possessed power to order the coordinator of IPOB. In a broadcast dated the 11th of May 2021 in Exhibit PWW, the defendant, while commenting on the meeting of Southern Governor held in Asaba, stated around 35 minutes to the exhibits while played, and I quote, concerning the lockdown announced yesterday, "I urge all people of Biafra and all those in Biafra land to disobey the lockdown given by Zoological Republic of Nigeria. The reason is because they want to use the dead of the night to move their fighters into our forest. Because we have defeated their foot soldiers. We must resist this stupid lockdown and it will not hold in Biafra. I am calling on all the coordinator, deputy coordinator of ESN and IPOB not to sleep in their houses today, but to look for somewhere else to stay. Because now we are in the trenches. Now you will know what is freedom fighting for. It is not comfortable. It is not rosy. Do not sleep at home. Do not sleep at home. Change your phone and even your phone itself." The defendant no doubt belonged to the group and is a leader of the group with the influence of commanding the coordinators of the group, not only IPOB but even Eastern Security Network, which is the armed wing of IPOB. In the broadcast of the 12th of December 2020, the defendant made an announcement in inaugurating the military group known as Eastern Security Network, which is the armed wing of the Indigenous People of Biafra. He stated, and I quote, "We have cowards, fine line idiots. As governors, they have given over our land to the Janjaweed to occupy in perpetual perpetuity. This very generation, this very IPOB will not tolerate it. Not now, not tomorrow, not forever. We will rather all perish and die than to allow our land to be taken over by the Janjaweed. This is a warning to all the governors who are conspiring due to one political consideration to give our land to infidel and blood-sucking demos from this town. It cannot happen, not under our watch. We are being told that some of these invaders come from Senegal, Gambia, Mali, from Nigerian Republicans and from Chad, according to Governor of Katsina State. Therefore, we are setting up the Eastern security networks to combat the excesses of these vagabonds, criminals from crossing, along the same line as Amotekun, the one set up by Mieti Allah. What we are launching before the war today is Eastern Security Network, not a Biafra army. And we will let the world know when the army is too much. Too much. But for our present purposes, we are setting it up to defend our land Biafra against marauders from the Sahel and the term incursion led by terrorists, Fulani to be precise. In the coming days you shall see them in their uniform performing the critical issue of providing security for our land. The defendant who was feasibly agitated, continue in the broadcast by stating no governor in the southeast and south-south have been able to form a security outfit. Therefore I must defend our land to the very last blood. We shall not stop, not now, not tomorrow, not forever, until our land is get rid of vultures of this Fulani terrorist. In the third video broadcast there was a side video of the man of the Eastern Security Network dressed in black with red cap waving black flag with insignia of Eastern Security Network. This is therefore no doubt the prosecution has established the second ingredient beyond reasonable doubt. With respect to the third ingredient, the evidence before this court shows that IPOB is a proscribed group. I take judicial notice of under Section 122 of the Evidence Act of the order made by my learned brother Nyako J in suit number FAC ABJCS A71 2017 between Attorney General of the Federation versus Indigenous People of Biafra today dated the 20th of September 2017, wherein the activities of indigenous people of Biafra were prescribed. He sent order crystallized, which is the Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette number 99 in volume 104 dated the 20th of September 2017, titled Terrorism Prevention Order, number Terrorism Prevention Order of 2017. The Gazette writes, and I quotes, "Nothing is hereby given that by the order of Federal High Courts in suit number FACABJCS 871 2017. Dated the 20th of September 2017. As per the schedule to this notice, the activities of indigenous people of Biafra are declared to be terrorist and illegal in any part of the country Nigeria, especially in the southeast, south-south region of Nigeria as prescribed, portion to Section 2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended. 2. Consequently, the general public is hereby warned that any person or group of persons participating in any manner whatever in any form of activities involving or concerning the prosecution of the collective intention or otherwise of the said group will be violating the provision of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended and liable to prosecution. The import of the above is that beginning from the commencement date of the 20th of September 2017, any person claiming to be a member of IPOB commits a terrorist act. The defendant by his broadcast of the 11th of May 2020, the 12th of December 2020, professed to be a member of prescribed group. Thus is the breach of Section 161 of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, consequently is hereby convicted of count 3. On count 4 and 5, which are closely related, the defendant is charged with inciting members of the public in Nigeria to halt and kill Nigeria security personnel and their family members, thereby committing offense under Section 1 sub 2H of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. The section provides as follows: any person of body corporate who knowingly or outside Nigeria direct or indirectly willingly incite, promises or induces any other person by any means whatsoever to commit the act of terrorism or any of the offenses referred to in the acts, commits an offense under the act and is liable to conviction to maximum of death sentence. The ingredients of the offense which the prosecution must establish beyond reasonable doubt are 1. The defendant must be person of body corporate. 2. The defendant must have directly or indirectly incites, promise or induced other person by any means whatsoever to commit the consent terrorism act. 3. The defendant must have directly or indirectly incited, promised or induced other persons by any means whatsoever to commit the terrorist act willingly or knowingly. The defendant have been established to be a human being by the prosecution for the second ingredient. It is important to understand what incitement means, and according to Supreme Court by Nikitobi DSE of blessed memory, the incassa and the state citations applied hold, and I quote, "An encouragement here means an art of making someone to feel brave or confident enough to do something by giving active approval in support of the crime." Incitement also have the element of encouragement by incitement. The person is provoked by a strong passion or feeling to commit an offense. The word set is a word of quite a number of synonyms. The two words set on connotes the resemblance of casing to attack or chase. Like one maybe say the future man, prepare the bait to set on the fish. It also adds the element of antagonism and instigation. The art of instigating means something happened by the actions or conduct of a person who is the starter. By the act of instigation, the co-accused is prepared or gingered to commit an offense. Likewise, the online Oxford Dictionary defines its incitements as follows: the action of provoking unlawful behavior, urging someone to behave unlawfully. The Cambridge Dictionary also defines incitements as follows, and I quote, "The art of encouraging someone to do or to feel something unpleasant or violent." Drawing from the above definitions, the incitements involve provoking or instigating people to do an unlawful act in their instant terrorist acts. The prosecution has led evidence showing that the defendant made broadcasts inciting public to take up arms against the security personnel in Nigeria to kill them and their family members. The broadcast of 21st day of October 2020 is contained in the PWW. The defendant said, and I quote, "Radio Biafra is now in the hand of the enemy of our freedom. I don't know how much they paid for it, but I know that Britain spent over 4.8 billion a few days ago to suppress what is happening. That is what they have done. I told you a while back that Britain was now in charge of what is happening in the zoo. And you thought that I was joking. They have now come with their clampdown, but they are now going. They are not going to succeed. Radio Biafra belonged to us. But why is it not playing out our program right now?" The defendant also stated, "I am telling you people to go to the bush. Whenever you see a military convoy, you attack them. Whenever you see a police convoy, attack them. They are human beings, and they also beat any person with a police uniform or any army. Any army uniform is an enemy of the people." Unquote. Around 57 minutes to this video mark, the defender stated, and I quote, "They came to Tinubu. It is surprised that after British High Commissioner came to Tinubu, they opened fire on protesters in Lagos. You should know that the woman is a devil. A big, big devil. She too will go. We get a common pence." The defendant was referring to Katrina Lang, the British High Commissioner at that time. The defendant also said, "From what will happen in Aba between today and tomorrow, we tell you how serious we are. Every police officer with uniform. Once you come out from your house with police uniform, you a dead man." Working callers were called.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.